Hello, and thank you for standing by for JD.com's fourth quarter and full year 2020 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After management's prepared remarks, there will be a question-and-answer session. Today's conference is being recorded. If you have any objections, you may disconnect at this time. I would now like to turn the meeting over to your host for today's conference, Ruiyu. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, operator, and welcome to our fourth quarter and full year 2020 earnings conference call. Joining me on the call today are Mr. Lei Xu, CEO of JD Retail, and Sandy Xu, our CFO. For today's agenda, Mr. Xu will share his thoughts on the recent business trends, followed by our CFO, Sandy, who will discuss highlights for the fourth quarter and the full year 2020. Both of them will join the Q&A session. Before we continue, I refer you to our safe harbor statement in the earnings press release, which applies to this call, as we may make forward-looking statements. Also, this call includes discussions of certain non-GAAP financial measures. Please refer to our earnings release, which contains a reconciliation of non-GAAP measures to the most direct comparable GAAP measures. Finally, please note that, unless otherwise stated, all the figures mentioned during this conference call are in RMB. Now, I would like to turn the call over to our CEO of JD Retail, Mr. Lei Xu.
谢谢瑞玉，各位投资者和分析师大家好，非常感谢大家参加京东集团2020年第四季度业绩电话会议。我是京东零售 CEO 徐雷，很高兴今天从京东零售业务的角度上，在这里和大家一起回顾过去，展望未来。
Thank you, Ruiyu. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our Q4 earnings call. This is Xu Lei, CEO of JD Retail. I'm glad to take this opportunity today to share with you JD Retail's 2020 review and our outlook for the new year.
2020年是极其不平凡的一年，我们关注到在宏观、零售和消费端正在发生了深刻的变化，体检全球的疫情对社会和人们的生活产生了巨大的影响。全球经济发展也存在诸多不确定性因素。
2020 was no ordinary year. We observed the significant changes in the macroeconomy, the retail industry, and the way our customers live their lives. The global pandemic greatly impacted society and everyone's lives. It also brought many uncertainties to the global economy.
而挑战也伴随着机遇，随着消费者心智和行为的结构变化。中国零售市场的线上渗透率进一步提升。与此同时，消费者的需求、注意力以及与消费者沟通的方式、沟通内容都在发生变化。
But great opportunities can be found amidst great challenges. With the profound changes in consumers' mindsets and behaviors during this period, China's online retail penetration continues to deepen. Consumers' needs, attention span, content forms, and means of communication all underwent many changes.
用户群体与场景也在越来越细分和垂直化。下沉市场、人大经济、90后及00后的年轻群体、社区经济以及即时消费等趋势，都为我们展开了广阔的增长空间。
Consumers' demographics and use cases became increasingly segmented and diversified. The lower-tier market, the silver economy, the users who were born after the 1990s and the year 2000, the community economy, the on-demand consumption, and many more engaging trends have presented us a wide range of growth opportunities.
面对这些挑战和机遇，京东展现出抗风险能力、穿越经济周期的韧性、更加开放的业务逻辑和对外赋能能力。京东长期坚持的正道商业价值观，在充满变化的时期里更加凸显了其价值所在。这些努力让我们赢得了更多用户和合作伙伴的信赖。我们不仅成功经受住了挑战，更抓住了成长和蜕变的机遇。
In the face of these challenges and opportunities, JD's business model has proven to be resilient through different economic cycles. We adopted a more open approach to running our business and continuously enhanced our ability to enable our business partners. Our long-standing business philosophy of noble principle of doing business served as our true north in navigating the uncertainties and changes. All these efforts have helped us to gain the trust of many more users and business partners. Over the past year, we have not only successfully withstood the challenges, but also seized the opportunities for further growth and iteration.
2020年，京东集团的财务表现非常强劲，得益于我们秉持的客户为先的初心和在用户体验上的持续投入。
JD.com delivered a strong set of financial results in 2020. This is mainly attributable to our continuous investment in improving our users' experience and also always put our customer first in running our business.
京东在2020年的活跃购买用户数超过4.7亿，在过去1年里增加了1.1亿，这是我们历史的最大增幅。全年接近80%的新增用户来自于下沉市场。
By the end of Q4, we hit a new high with annual active customers for the past 12 months reaching 472 million. We saw accelerated user growth and added 110 million new active customers compared with a year ago. This is the largest expansion in our history. We continue to see exciting user growth in the lower tier cities, which contributed over 80% of our new users for the first time in Q4 2020.
同时，京东更好的购物体验使得用户在京东平台上展现出越来越高的活跃度。比如，我们观察到2015年加入京东的新用户在2020年的 UP 已经翻了5倍以上，尤其是京东 Plus 用户的购物频次和 UP 都远高于普通用户。
We're even more delighted to see increased engagement from our customers. For example, the ARP from our 2015 customer cohort increased more than 5 times by 2020, and we also see a very active engagement of our JD Plus members.
2020年，京东集团不仅在成熟业务上继续保持健康发展，在创新业务上也有很大的进展。京东零售作为京东集团发展最早、最成熟的核心业务板块，也是承载京东集团实现长期战略目标的重要基础。在这1年里，实现了有质量的加速增长和有价值的持续创新。
In 2020, we maintained healthy growth in our core businesses and achieved a significant progress in new business initiatives. JD Retail is JD's earliest and most mature core business. It plays a fundamental role in JD achieving its long-term strategic goals. We are pleased to say that in the past year, JD Retail realized a high quality and accelerated growth and meaningful and sustainable innovation.
展望未来，在新的1年以及更长的时间里，作为以供应链为基础的技术和服务公司，京东零售将继续坚持实施供应链和技术中台、全渠道以及开放平台生态建设3大战略重点。
Looking ahead in 2021 and beyond, as a supply chain-based technology and service provider, JD Retail will continue to focus on 3 key strategies: enhancing our middle platform capacities for supply chain and technology, our omni-channel strategy, and our online marketplace ecosystem.
第一，一直以来，围绕着打造供应链和技术中台，京东对供应链基础设施已经进行了大量的投入。目前，在我们全国900多的仓库里，管理着超过700万种 SKU 的自营商品。
First, on the middle platform for supply chain and technology, JD has been investing intensively in the building of supply chain infrastructure for a long time. At the end of 2020, we managed more than 7 million SKUs of our direct sale products in over 900 warehouses across China.
供应链正在成为影响各国产业和企业在世界范围内协作和发展的关键因素。尤其当企业面对充满不确定性的环境，对供应链的需求却是更明确的。京东要打造的是适合多场景、多终端的供应链中台能力。
During COVID-19, supply chain has impacted the development and cooperation among industries and enterprises around the world. The need for a reliable supply chain is all the more imminent in an environment of increased uncertainty. What JD aspires to do is to build a middle platform ability that can be applied in more diverse use cases and channels.
京东多年来坚定不移地夯实供应链和技术的核心能力，就是为了帮助线上线下商家，无论是行业巨头还是中小企业，无论是品牌企业还是制造型企业，改善终端用户体验，降低流通成本，提升经营效率，更好地抵御环境中的不确定性，推动行业提质增效，为全社会创造更大的价值。而这将带来京东收入进一步多元化，推动服务性收入在未来保持高速增长。
With this goal in mind, we have been investing unswervingly in supply chain and technologies to help merchants, both online and offline, big and small, including brands and factories, to improve their operations efficiency, to enhance their customers' experience, and to improve their risk resistance capacity. This will also help promote high-quality growth of the whole industry and create value for the entire society. For JD, this endeavor will further diversify our revenue streams and drive our service revenue in the future.
第二，京东全渠道战略的意义在于，在更广泛的各类新业态和场景中，提高整体零售效率，满足消费者多样化的、即时的购买商品和服务的需求，给商家和消费者创造价值。全渠道业务是京东平台上主要消费模式的有效补充，这不仅是京东的战略重点发展战略，也是所有零售商都要面对和参与的创新课题。现在线下行业的全渠道模式渗透率还非常低，我们认为未来全渠道和即时消费模式在不同行业里的渗透率会不断加强，行业空间非常巨大。
Second, in face of a broad range of business channels and use cases, our Omni-Channel Strategy aims to increase the overall retail efficiency, to satisfy customers' diverse needs, to provide people with immediate access to products and services, and to create value for merchants and customers. Our omni-channel business is complementary to JD's platform's main retail model. Omni-channel is not only a key strategy for JD, but also a new trend that all the retailers must address. The penetration rate of this model is still quite low among offline businesses. We believe that there is a huge potential to integrate omni-channel and on-demand fulfillment elements with many industries in the future.
京东的全渠道业务已经覆盖专卖店、商超、便利、汽车、生鲜、鲜花、医药等多种线下业态和品类，链接数百万的线下门店。未来，京东将通过独特的供应链和技术能力，打造服务于即时消费市场的 LBS 技术能力，继续加强支持多行业、多业态、多场景的全渠道供应链、全渠道营销和门店数字化等核心能力。
Today, JD's omni-channel business has already covered various offline scenarios ranging from franchise stores, convenience stores, car maintenance stores, fresh groceries, and fresh flowers through pharmaceuticals, connecting with millions of offline stores. In the future, based on our unique supply chain and technology abilities, we will develop LBS-based technologies tailored to the on-demand consumption market. We will also continue to build up our omni-channel supply chain, omni-channel marketing, and offline store digitalization abilities to support their applications in many more industries, businesses, and scenarios.
同时，努力建立消费者的即时消费心智，通过物竞天择、京东到家与达达的合作的创新模式，积极对接外部合作伙伴。2021年，我们计划向更多的零售业态渗透，实现全渠道业务的有质量增长，为公司贡献增量收入。
Meanwhile, we will work on cultivating customers' mindshare of on-demand fulfillment through innovative measures, such as our omni-channel fulfillment initiative and cooperation with external partners, such as the partnership between JDBJ and Dada Group. In 2021, we will expand our coverage to more retail verticals and drive the quality growth of our omni-channel business. This will provide us additional monetization opportunities.
第三，平台生态能力建设。开放平台一直是京东有很大挖掘空间的模式。我们过去几年一直在努力，现在已建立了较好的平台生态基础，尤其在平台生态治理上取得了良好的进展，初步建立了健康良性的平台生态环境，提升了整体商家质量和用户体验。
Third, on the building of an online market ecosystem. This is an area of great potential for JD. With several years of development,
we have now established a good foundation for the online platform ecosystem. Notably, we have made good progress in building a healthy platform environment and improved the merchant quality and user experience.
我们欣慰地看到，京东开放平台的 NPS 在持续提升，新一年的平台商家续签率比过往有大幅提升，体现了明显改善商家满意度和认可度。未来的一年里，迎着行业更加良性的发展趋势，我们会不断地实验新模式、新策略，寻找适合京东开放生态的策略和方法论。京东的目标始终是为了消费者提供更好的购物体验和服务，并对商家进行全面的开放和赋能，不断提升京东零售的平台生态能力。
We are pleased to see that the NPS Net Promoter Scores of our online marketplace continues to improve over the year. So far this year, our merchants' renewal rate is much higher than in the past, reflecting a significant improvement in merchant satisfaction and recognition of our platform. Looking ahead, capitalizing on a healthier industry environment, we will continue to experiment with new models and strategies to find the optimal strategies for JD's online marketplace. These attempts will still be guided by JD's ultimate business purpose to improve customers' shopping experience and provide an open and empowering platform for merchants.
在坚持这些战略方向的同时，我们还将继续夯实业务基础，保持更开放的心态，培育新业务，以创新迎接变化。在京东零售上，不管是以成熟业务为代表的第一增长曲线，例如3C 家电和消费品，还是以成长业务为代表的第二增长曲线，例如健康品类和工业品，亦或是以新兴业务为代表的第三增长曲线，包括创新零售、服务与技术等，我们都在不断的发掘和培育新的增长机会。
While adhering to these strategic directions, we will continue to underpin our business foundation, keep an open mind, incubate new business, and use innovation to face change. Whether it is our first growth curve represented by our established business, such as consumer electronics and consumer goods, or our second growth curve represented by our growing business, such as healthcare and MRO categories, or the third growth curve represented by emerging business, such as retail innovations, service and technology initiatives, JD Retail can always identify and incubate new growth opportunities.
在这里，我想和大家再次重新阐述一下京东的战略定位是以供应链为基础的技术和服务企业。京东是长期主义者，从创业伊始就坚持去做行业里最苦、最难，但也最有价值的事。无论走多远，只要坚守京东以客户为先、以供应链为基础的价值创造初心，就能给我们的前行提供源源不断的动力。这也是我们一直以来坚守的正道商业价值观。
Here, I would like to emphasize JD's strategic positioning as a supply chain-based technology and service provider. We uphold our long-term business philosophy. Since day one of JD's business, we chose to tackle the hardest but most valuable problems in the industry and society. No matter how far we have come, as long as we remain committed to our customer-first core value and supply chain-based value creation, we'll always be able to go full steam ahead. This attitude embodies our long-standing business philosophy, that is the noble principle of doing business.
道阻且长，行则将至。我们相信京东一直坚守的价值观和使命，更能顺应宏观环境和行业的变化方向。京东将在这些战略方向上持续创新和投入，全力地向广大消费者、合作伙伴和社会稳定持续地输出我们的能力和价值，并以此实现长期高质量的可持续的发展。
The road ahead is long and winding, but taking one step ahead, we will persevere. We believe the core values and mission that JD has been abiding by are relevant to the new microenvironment and industry development. JD will continue to innovate and invest in these strategic directions. We will constantly and continuously deliver our abilities and create value for society, industries, our partners, and our customers, and in turn, achieve long-term high-quality growth at JD.
谢谢大家聆听我今天的分享。下面我把话筒交给京东集团 CFO Sandy。
Thank you for your time. I'll now give the floor to our CFO Sandy.
Thank you, Lei. Hello, everyone. We were pleased to finish 2020 with exceptional business and financial performance in the fourth quarter. We outperformed our expectations with accelerated user and top-line growth and exciting progress in multiple new businesses, while maintaining solid bottom-line performance and strong cash flow during the fourth quarter and throughout the full year 2020. These results were driven by our relentless focus on customer experience and investment in supply chain capability, technology, and in logistics infrastructure over the past years, which has become a hallmark of JD.com. As we embrace change and position our business for the long run, JD has been at the forefront of many innovative initiatives and structural shifts that are taking place in China. In addition to the exciting developments at JD Retail that Lei just discussed, I would like to further elaborate on some operating and financial highlights. First, let me add more color on our user base. By the end of Q4, we hit a new high watermark for our annual active customers in the past 12 months at 472 million. We saw accelerated user growth to 30% year-on-year and added 110 million new active customers from a year ago. In addition, we managed to grow our user base while continuing to reduce our marketing expense ratio in 2020. This improved marketing efficiency was driven by our long-term user-centric operating philosophy and technology-driven marketing efficiency improvement, paving the way for our sustainable user growth going forward. Let's turn to a number of our new business initiatives, which are making exciting progress. First, on JD Logistics. Began as JD Group's in-house logistics department in 2007, JD Logistics has been building logistics infrastructure and technologies, as well as operational and industry know-how for over a decade. It has become the leading technology-driven supply chain solution and logistics services provider in China, and operated over 900 warehouses with an aggregate gross floor area of 21 million square meters. On February 16, 2021, JD Logistics submitted a listing application form to apply for the listing of its shares on the main board of Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Please note that there is no guarantee as to whether and when the proposed listing will take place. Some of our smaller businesses are also experiencing rapid growth. For example, JD Property recently launched its first logistics property development fund with some prestige strategic investors. So far, total AUM of JD Property's core fund and the development fund has exceeded 19 billion RMB. JD Property also entered into a definitive agreement with Series A financing. The total amount expected to be raised is approximately $700 million. We also restructured some business units recently to better coordinate our internal resources and capture market opportunities. For example, we established Jingxi Business Group recently to further strengthen our supply chain capacity, better serve customers, and empower SMEs in the lower tier cities. To achieve better synergies, our social e-commerce platform Jingxi, convenience store business Jingxi Tong, formerly known as Jintonglu, and community-based purchase business Jingxi Pinpin were consolidated under the Jingxi Business Group banner. And in December, we announced that JD Cloud and AI business will merge with JD Digit, subject to the board and regulatory approvals. The proposed reorg was designed to drive synergies in the development of innovative technologies and product solutions. This will allow JD.com to focus more on core retail and logistics businesses and gain more flexibility in allocating resources to new business. Within our retail business, JD Health achieved an important milestone with its successful listing on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange on December 8, 2020, with a gross proceeds of approximately 31 billion Hong Kong dollars. As a technology-driven platform centered on the supply chain of pharmaceutical and healthcare products and healthcare services, JD Health aims to provide easily accessible, convenient, high quality and affordable healthcare products and services covering a user's full lifespan. JD has demonstrated a proven track record of successfully incubating, developing, and growing new businesses from our core B2C e-commerce business. We believe this is enabled by our relentless focus on superior customer experience and our efforts in building and investing in supply chain capabilities and technology infrastructure. This creates a virtuous cycle, allowing us to identify new opportunities to empower external business partners and grow beyond our core e-commerce business. Therefore, we will continue to invest in exciting new initiatives that can drive long-term sustainable growth for our group. Our financial performance reflects the trajectory of our long-term development. Our net revenues grew 31.4% year-on-year to 224 billion RMB in the fourth quarter, continuing our strong growth momentum with a successful promotion season. More importantly, we are driving our top line in more expansive ways. Our electronic and home appliance categories increased 25% year-on-year during Q4, continuing to outperform the industry by a large margin. General merchandise revenue continued to grow faster at 34% year-on-year in Q4, led by the FMCG, healthcare, cosmetics, and home product categories. Order volume for the supermarket category grew by 45% year-on-year in Q4. Another key metric shows that we are growing our top line in a more diversified way is our net service revenue growth, which accelerated to 53% year-on-year in Q4, the highest growth we had in the past 11 quarters. This is mainly driven by the strong growth momentum of JD Logistics external revenue, as well as our advertising revenue. For the full year of 2020, net revenue reached 746 billion with year-on-year growth accelerated to 29.3% from 24.9% in 2019. Electronics and home appliance revenues recorded solid growth of 22% year-on-year amid challenging market conditions, while general merchandise revenues grew 38% year-on-year in 2020. Net service revenues grew by 42% and accounted for 12.6% of our total revenue in 2020. Our non-GAAP operating margin improved by 13 basis points year-on-year to 0.5% in Q4 and up 52 basis points year-on-year to 2.1% for the full year 2020. JD Retail's operating margin came in 1.5% in Q4 and reached 2.8% on a full year basis in 2020, up 28 basis points from 2019, mainly driven by improved operating efficiency and to a lesser extent, the relief of Social Security during the COVID-19 pandemic. The margin improvement in 2020 was realized even as we shift our category mix towards the high frequency but small ticket size consumer staple categories that are still in the early stage of realizing earnings potential, and proactively reinvest some of our Social Security benefits in value creation for our users and the logistics infrastructure. We are well on track of our long-term margin trajectory. Moving to the bottom line, our Q4 non-GAAP net income attributable to ordinary shareholders was 2.4 billion RMB, and non-GAAP net margin improved 59 basis points year-over-year to 1.1%. Our full year 2020 non-GAAP net income attributable to ordinary shareholders reached 16.8 billion RMB, up 57% as compared to 10.7 billion RMB last year. Non-GAAP net margin for the full year 2020 improved 39 basis points year-over-year to 2.3%. Again, our profitability has improved meaningfully in 2020, even as we incurred additional expenses related to COVID-19 and its excludes the benefit of the Social Security relief, which had about 25 basis points impact. It's worth highlighting that we continue to strengthen our financial position while stepping up to support our business partners. Our inventory turnover days further reduced to 33.3 days in the last 12 months, one of the lowest among the top global retailers, and our own historical record again, despite of the continuous expansion of total SKUs directly managed by us. This is achieved through the continuous improvement of our technology and operating efficiency. Our free cash flow for the trailing 12 months hit a new record of 35 billion RMB, grew 80% from a year ago. As of December 31st, 2020, cash and cash equivalents, restricted cash and short-term investments added up to a total of 151 billion RMB. We believe our solid profitability and financial position provide us with a strong foundation for investment in a range of growth opportunities. In summary, JD.com capped off a challenging year of increased uncertainties with a remarkable performance. We further improved our technologies and tools, enhanced our ability to serve users and ecosystem partners, which paved the way for our future growth. We continue to witness a deepening of online penetration across many categories and the technology-driven transformation in many aspects of consumers' daily lives and the society in China. We expect to maintain the growth momentum that we generated in 2020 on multiple fronts in 2021, in spite of continued macro challenges and the high comparable base impact. We also expect our long-term margin trajectory will continue. However, we do not forecast short-term margins, as we believe JD.com is still in a fast-growing stage in an enviable growth market with many exciting opportunities. With our core retail supply chain and logistics capabilities, JD is well established with convincing value proposition to benefit from secular trends and drive the long-term sustainable growth of our business in 2021 and beyond. This concludes my prepared remarks. Let's open the call for questions. Thank you.
The question and answer session of this conference call will start in a moment. In order to be fair to all callers who wish to ask questions, we will take one question at a time from each caller. If you have more than one question, please request to join the question queue again after your first question has been addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the question and answer session. If you wish to ask a question, please press *1 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. If you wish to cancel your request, please press the pound or hash key. Once again, to ask a question, it's star and the number 1 on your telephone keypad. Your first question comes from the line of Eddie Leung of Bank of America. Please ask your question.
晚上好, good evening. Just a couple of quick follow-ups after your presentation. Firstly, your user growth is pretty impressive, very strong. Wondering if there is any impact on the ticket size. If the ticket size is coming down because of new users, does it affect the operating leverage of your logistics business? Seems like the fulfillment cost as percentage of sales, a bit higher than our expectations. So just wondering your thought. And then I think Xu Lei mentioned that the renewal rate of your platform merchants improved last year. So just wondering how quickly is the number of marketplace merchants growing because of the improved renewal rate? Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie. This is Sandy. Let me take your first question regarding the fulfillment margin.
So I think for gross margin, we would look at 1P and 3P separately. If we look at the pure B2C gross margin, in Q4, it went down a little bit. But if we include the advertising revenue in relation to our 1P products, that is how internally we manage the operating results. The gross profit margin for 1P actually slightly increased. So this is after considering all of our reinvestments in Q4 for the additional profits that were generated from the first 9 months in the year. As I mentioned at the earnings call last quarter, we plan to reinvest some of the additional profits generated from the first 9 months in the fourth quarter to really provide value to our customers and also to reinvest to build our logistics infrastructure. So again, to emphasize that the gross margin for 1P actually slightly increased compared to the same quarter last year. And if you look at the fulfilled gross margin for 1P, there is also a slight improvement from last year compared to the Q4. And we see very meaningful improvement for the full year compared with last year by about 20 basis points. So this is driven by the steady improvement of gross margin by many categories, including the category mix shift towards lower margin supermarket category. So the relief of social benefits has no impact on the improvement for the full year of fulfilled gross margin, as we had the one-time VAT benefit in 2019. So the amount is almost the same. Really, what's dragging down the total fulfilled gross margin for our group is the 3P revenue contribution. We can see that the contribution from the 3P revenue went down a little bit in the fourth quarter, even though the 3P contributed more GMV in Q4 as compared to Q4 last year. We were quite encouraged by the healthy performance of our marketplace business model, but the category mix within the marketplace business model also changed slightly. The healthcare, supermarket, electronics, and home appliance categories outperformed the apparel and home products. So that means the categories with relatively lower take rates are growing faster than categories with higher take rates under our marketplace business model. Again, we believe this is a healthy move and a good indicator of our efforts in building a better marketplace ecosystem, particularly for our historically strong 1P categories.
我回答一下这个第二个问题。京东的平台在消费者心智中的体验跟服务是两个最重要的这个消费者的利益。
And to answer your second question, you have all known that JD's reputation is the strongest in terms of the consumer's impression on our service experience.
从全年来看的话，我们的商家数量是在稳步的提升。
And through the year, you can see that the number of merchants on our platform has enjoyed a steady growth.
就像我刚才提到的，消费者对我们的要求，所以说我们对这个商家的服务质量和他的商品会有比较明确的其他平台可能更高的要求。所以说，商家的服务能力、产品能力，实际上是非常看重。
As consumers have a higher expectation on our service, we will also have a higher expectations on the qualities and the products from our merchants on the platform.
所以说我们在去年会将一些低质和低效的商家呢来进行清理，所以说从平台商家的总数上来说是一个稳步增长，但实际上新引进的商家的绝对值还是比较高，而且他们的商家经营能力和他们的质量实际上是往年有大大的提升。
So in the last year, we have done some screening work on our low efficiency and low operation merchants. And still, we see the overall number of our merchants on the platform is stably growing. And this year, we have been recruiting more high-quality merchants. They are more experienced and running their business in a more efficient way.
所以说我们也会关注我们的内部和商家的效率指标。可以看到的是，我们在整个开放平台的转化效率上比去年有了非常明显的提升，而商家的经营的店铺的效率也得到了比较高的提升。这样的话会导致我之前讲到的新的一年的商家续签率呢，因为我们是在3月30号，那么在目前进展上可以看到是整个商家续签率比过往有大幅度的提升，而且商家的满意度我们通过全年的监测也有非常明显的提升。
So we will pay close attention on the efficiency of our internal platform and also the operation efficiency of our merchants on the platform and how well they are running their stores. And for this year, the cutoff time for the merchants renewal is on March the 30th. So we have seen the renewal rate is much higher than in the past. And we also seen the improvement of our merchants' satisfaction rate on our platform.
Okay.
Thank you for the question.
Your next question comes from the line of Ronald Keung of Goldman Sachs. Please ask your question.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my question. Thank you, Xu Leitong, Sandy, and management. And congratulations on the strong 2020 performance. I think my question would be on both Xu Leitong and Sandy. You mentioned about a lot of new business which are very exciting. And I could see you've launched at Bingxi, also all the different initiatives both in the kind of new businesses. How should we think about our kind of plan to invest in these? I think because of course JD Retail is very strong on itself, but given so many exciting initiatives, could you go through these initiatives maybe one by one, or the biggest key, and how should we think about our commitment or the plan to invest in terms of magnitude? Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. This is Sandy. Maybe let me take the question regarding Bingxi, and then Lei can comment on some other new initiatives. So in Q4, as I mentioned, we did a restructuring for our Bingxi business group to really try to generate synergies from the 3 separate business units. We see there is a great opportunity in this group purchase business or group purchase industry or the fresh produce category. So we firmly believe there is a structural opportunity, the huge market size and highly fragmented supply chain with lots of opportunities and potential to improve the operating efficiency through technology and innovative business models. And we also see that the group purchase business model works better for smaller ticket size items in the lower tier market, as it can generate better fulfillment efficiency through short chain logistics and be more efficient in inventory management and marketing, especially for perishable and long tail products, and provide users from the lower tier market with better experience. So even though at present most players in this market build their group purchase business model primarily driven by traffic, we believe by end of the day it will go back to the basis of retail business, i.e. Platforms will compete on cost of products, operating efficiency, and customer experience. So we see this to be a long-term initiative, and ultimate goal is to improve the operating efficiency of supply chain, the wholesale and retail business in the lower tier market through technology, and improve people's living standard. JD is fully dedicated in this initiative, and we will take a somewhat differentiated approach to be more focused on supply chain and logistics network, and try to leverage our existing capabilities. So we launched our Kintin business in certain cities from January, and it's still in a very early stage. We were entering into this group purchase business. We need to build localized supply chain, short chain logistics network, as well as technologies and tools to support the operation. We also need to recruit group leaders. business development teams and educate new users step by step, city by city. So there are lots of areas need investment. But we are not starting entirely from the scratch. We have been testing the good purchase business model for a while in a very small scale. For our convenience store business, Jingtonglu, now renamed to Jingxitong, we already established some B2B supply chains primarily in the FMCG category, including some localized supply chains. We also have existing B2B logistics networks and localized business development teams in certain regions of the country. Jingxitong now has over 1 million SME customers, and some of these convenience store owners can naturally be turned to the group leaders of our Jingxi Pinpin business. Our existing centralized procurement platform, the middle platform mentioned by Lei just now, for FMCG, home products, or other categories can support Pinpin's business and provide users of Pinpin with more product selection. At the same time, better generate scale benefits for core retail through sales from Pinpin's channel. So we are working with various business partners, including China Dili and the manufacturing basis for agricultural products, to strengthen our supply chain capabilities further upstream and try to source the best value products for our users. At the same time, helping the existing market players on the supply chain with digital transformation, including the agricultural product wholesale market. Our Jingxi e-commerce platform aims to serve the users from the lower tier cities, and they have accumulated a lot of loyal users since its establishment. Based on our initial test in a small group of users, we are pleased to see a good conversion of Jingxi users to Pinpin users. So we believe JD Group's existing teams and capabilities in the lower tier cities form a good basis to start our Pinpin business, although not sufficient to support the growth of the new business. But we can quickly replicate, adjust, and apply our existing experiences, industry know-how, and capabilities to the new model. Pinpin can also help increase the engagement of users and merchants from the lower tier market, including convenience stores for Jingxi and Jingxitong business, as well as supporting our main app. So these are also the logic of reorganizing and consolidating the 3 business units into one business group. Most importantly, JD is fully dedicated in this initiative. We sent our best people to this new business group, and they also got supply chain support from our core retail and logistics business groups. So talking about the investment, we have put aside sufficient budget to start and grow the business, as we need to invest in many areas, as I just mentioned, and we will evaluate the ROI for the investment and make periodic adjustments based on the market situation. It's pretty difficult to accurately predict at this stage how much we are going to spend on this new initiative. As you can see, the market is very dynamic with many, many players. What I can tell you is our strategy is not to acquire users through short-term and crazy subsidies, but to really invest in building the hardcore capabilities and technology to run the business and create long-term value for our users and business partners and the society. So this is also consistent with our group's operating philosophy. To improve the transparency of our communication with investors, we plan to take out the operating results of Jingxi Business Group from JD Retail segment and report under new business starting from Q1 this year. We are excited about this business opportunity, and we look forward to sharing more with the investors as we develop the business.
我来补充一下这个从业务思考的观点。
Let me add something on the new business.
第一呢，其实整个的不仅仅是电商，包括零售，最重要的是人货场这3个因素。
And not only for the e-commerce, but essentially for all the retail business, we will focus on the customers, products, and the platform.
那么整个京东零售的发展历程，可以说最早的时候是从品类开始扩张，紧接着有自营和开放平台的两种模式，但他们更多的是围绕着货的扩张。那第二步，我们进入到了人群，从最初的小众的以3C 数码这种人群开始，我们开始通过品类的方式，吸引更多的人，包括下沉市场的人，包括女性用户，这是关于人的方面。
So since the beginning of JD Retail's development, we started from our products, and we start to expand our product selections. So we do our first party and then the third party product offering. And for the next step, we focused on our customers, and we start with providing products to the targeted customer cohorts who are interested in the consumer electronics and digital products. And then we will continue to expand our consumer base to more people in the lower tier cities and female users, etc.
在厂方面的话，从最初的中心化，我们开始去线上中心化，我们开始去探索线上的去中心化，以及这2年我们开始探索线下的业务以及全渠道。那其实这是整个的生意的发展的一个逻辑，但它背后的最重要的是什么？是我们认为能不能在特定的领域里面，在成本、效率和体验上面，或者是解决行业的痛点、消费者的痛点，或者是我们可以创造一个更领先的一个商业的模式，或者叫商业的方式。
And in terms of the platform, we started to build our platform in a centralized way, and then now we are moving to more decentralized formats. And in the past 2 years, we have been exploring new formats with the offline businesses and our omni-channel initiatives. So this is the basic JD's business logic. And behind that, the most important thing is that we are thinking and doing things to see what are the pain points, what we can solve, the pain points about bringing down the cost and improve the efficiencies and giving better shopping experiences for our customers. So this you can see is the process. We are looking for some solutions for the pain points, and also whether there will be new ways to find, there will be new or more leading or advanced models or methodologies to do retail.
可以看到我们这1年我们孵化出从京东零售孵化出来的健康和工业品，其实都是我们考虑所有的出发点都是围绕着是不是能够为这行业创造价值，解决行业的痛点，这是我们的出发点。京东曾经在历史上有过很多很多公司都发生过的问题，就是只看新进入的领域的市场规模，或者说一个欲望，而我们现在更多的是用价值和长期去看是不是值得我们的投入，值得我们去开发这么一个创新的业务。所以说更多的是围绕着刚才我上面讲到的，最终我想阐述的是，我在开篇讲的，我们希望为整个行业，包括投资人，包括消费者，塑造的是我们持续稳定的业务的发展，包括业务的创新。
So you have seen that in the past year, JD Retail has incubated JD Health and JD MRO, and all this been created based on our principle to solving some pain points and create value for this industry. And we have seen that in JD's development history, and this has happened to many other companies as well. When we are considering to enter a new market, we will first look at the scale of the market. However, we will think deeper and see whether this new business will truly create long-term value for the industry and the society. So this is, as I mentioned, the basic logic when we are making our decisions to enter a new business or not. So eventually, we would love to create a sustainable and constant value to the society and our customers.
Yeah, and also supplement businesses other than the retail business. For JD Logistics, it will continue to build technology and infrastructure to further expand its product and service offerings. And we also have JD International. So we have a small operation in Southeast Asia. They are in the hyper-growth stage, but still in the investment stage.
Next question, please.
Your next question comes from the line of Alicia Yap of Citigroup. Please ask your question.
Hi, thank you. Good evening, management, Xu Lei, Sandy. Thanks for taking my questions and also congrats on the solid results. Just very quickly, wonder, have you already generated any revenue from community group buy in the fourth quarter? Just wondering, your FMCG category, have you seen any impact given the rising intensity of this community group buy platform from the peers? And then just quickly on the first quarter Chinese New Year, so any qualitative color that you could share with us, given this year is also another a little bit special year, given the stay in the cities measure. So what have you observed in terms of the category demand as compared to the normal Chinese New Year period? Any category that you have seen abnormally strong this year? Thank you.
我徐乐先回答关于消费品跟这个年货节的问题。
This is Xu Lei. I will answer the questions related to FMCG and the Chinese New Year grant promotion.
目前呢，整个的社区团购呢，大家会聚焦在几个领域，其中呢，这个生鲜领域，和消费品领域这两个是应该比例非常高。少数的还会涉足一些代建品的，但是这个比例会比较低。
And overall speaking, we have seen the focus of the community group buying are in the following areas. First is the fresh produce and also the FMCGs, and some may related to the digital products, but mainly focusing on the first two.
目前我们可以看到的是，消费品跟生鲜这两个品类受到社区团购的影响本身并不大，因为跟消费者的购物习惯、心智以及品单价形成了错位。
And we don't see a quite big impact of we don't see the JD's business has been having a big impact from the fast development of community group buying. I think this is mainly related to our customers' shopping behaviors and their mind shares, and also their preference on our products.
可以分享的是，我们的部分 SKU 反而成了一些社区团购公司希望跟我们合作的，我们以供电赋能的方式跟他们合作的一个机会点。
And it's also worth mentioning that some of our SKUs has been of some favorable items that some community group buying companies want to work with us through our supply chain, enabling business formats.
在关于年货节的话，那今年的年货节因为跟去年疫情相比，有了非常大的整个的消费的变化。那么整个年货节从它的整体的销售情况和参与用户角度来说，应该跟去年比，我们认为还是非常棒的。
And regarding the question about the Spring Festival, shopping festival, because compared with last year's COVID situation, this year there's some major changes on the consumptions. We do see a healthy consumption results and consumers' participation in this year's shopping festival.
我们可以看到的是包括礼品，包括美妆，包括食品等，这些品类的增速都非常好。包括家电这个品类，因为去年的2月份的疫情原因，部分品类的增速其实受疫情影响较大，但是今年呢是完全释放出来了。当然呢，跟 跟清洁、健康、口罩等相关的品类呢，表现呢可能是不如去年那么强劲，但我认为这也是在疫情因素得到缓解以后一个非常好的一个情况。
We have seen some categories are enjoying a very fast growth rate during this year's Spring Festival grand promotion, such as the gifts, beauty products, and food, and also home appliances. The home appliances suffered from the pandemic the most last year, and this year the demand is coming back fast. And in contrast, some categories which had a good sales performance last year, such as some home cleaning, healthcare, and masks, they're coming back to the normal level. So generally speaking, we do see this is a very healthy consumption trend.
最后主要分享的是，因为今年整个国家政府倡导了本地过年，所以说我们发现异地订单的销售额同比是增长了2倍。另外呢，就是因为本地过年，所以说很多商家往年的休息或者说是长时间的休息，那么今年他们还继续保持运营，或者是运营的时间会更长，所以说整个商家的参与度会比往年的年货节会高很多。
And one more point to add is that because the government encouraged people to stay at their working place to celebrate the New Year, we do see a surge of remote orders on our platform. The remote orders are those orders the buyers make the orders and sending to the recipients living in another city. And the sales of the remote order, the numbers of remote order actually doubled on our platform. And also because of the staycation, a lot of merchants continue to operate their business on the platform during the grand promotion and even extend their working hours there. So we do see they are very engaging and very active in participating in this sales event.
Yeah, and on the revenue contribution from community group purchase in Q4, we only experimented in very small scale in the fourth quarter in 1 or 2 cities. So you can ignore the revenue contribution.
We are now approaching the end of the conference call. I will now turn the call over to JD.com's Ryu Li for closing remarks.
Thanks, operator. Thank you for joining us today on the call. Please feel free to contact us if you have any further questions. We look forward to talking with you in the coming months. Thank you.
Thank you for your participation in today's conference. This concludes the presentation. You may now disconnect. Good day.